from week 5, man.
First overreaction. We talked about him early in the show, and that is 17-year-old true freshman wide receiver at the University of Alabama, Ryan Williams, the one, the only. We all saw his play this past Saturday night. And if you didn't, man, I question your label as a college football fan. First of all, Williams is second in the nation among
question you as an
receivers.
American.
As an American, too. Absolutely. I can get behind that one. Williams is second in the nation among qualifying receivers in yards per route run, only behind Ole Miss's wide receiver Trey Harris, who has a whopping 49 catches to Williams' 16. That gives you any idea of how efficient Williams is. He's pretty darn efficient when he goes out there. Harris has roughly a 42% target share, while Williams only has a 22% target share. Williams has over 400 yards receiving and has scored a total of 5 touchdowns so far in 4 games this season, scoring at least 1 in each game. Not too bad for a kid who has homecoming next week, right? Well, let's not forget that he has done all of this while only playing half of a game, just like his quarterback Jalen Milroe, twice this season. USF and Western Kentucky, both times, only played in one half. But when you look beyond the numbers and you watch this kid play, you wouldn't think he's a 17-year-old. He is one of the most silky players currently playing the position in all of college football, regardless of age or classification or school. No matter what, you'll rarely find a player that will come out of high school, especially right out the gate as a freshman, who moves as well as he does post-snap, to route up the defensive back, to stem him up. He has a speed to burn defenders deep on one-on-one coverage, and also he has great body control. We saw that on a deep touchdown catch that he had against Wisconsin in the end zone. Just great control of his body in order to contort himself to make the catch, and then also get some feet down in the end zone to secure that ball. But I would be remiss, of course, if I did not mention the body control he had on that catch, the one against Georgia. It was incredible. When he went up to catch the ball, when he came down, and when he made a spin move, a little stiff arm to get away the Georgia defensive backs, whatever it was, he has elite control of his body. Great catch radius for someone.
I ain't never seen another man make two men hug mid play. Dude, that was nasty work.
It was crazy. And look, if he did this as like a junior or senior, it would still be pretty insane, right? You would want maybe some more volume, but the efficiency he's working at and everything is just incredible. And then add in the fact that he's a true freshman doing this, leading his team in targets, receptions, yards, and everything. He has a production, efficiency, elite traits of a top wide receiver, and you see it all on film as well, not just on the stat sheet. And because of that, Ryan Williams is the best wide receiver in the country as of right now. Your next overreaction involves a team that's been kind of in the dumps for the last 10 years, roughly, a lot of down years, and that is the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. Oh boy, Greg Schiano's coming. And so is Kyle Monangai, the star running back for this Scarlet Knights team. And yes, Rutgers can, and in my opinion, will make the playoffs. Rutgers will make the playoffs. You can book it now. Kyle Monangai, like I said, freaking beast. One of the best running backs in the country. If it weren't for a guy named Ashton Ginty, Monangai might be regarded as the top running back in the country. But
they're running the same.
They do. They run mean, and they also, they can pick up the yards in a tough way, running through you, but also they can put a move on you and make you miss too. So they got some wiggle. But I got to give respect too to 𝗕𝘂𝘀𝗶𝘲𝘀𝗀, who is a transfer quarterback from Minnesota. He has only thrown 1 interception this year to, I believe, 7 touchdowns. He has been balling out for Rutgers this year, and they have wins over Virginia Tech and Washington. 2 solid teams. I know that Washington doesn't have a great overall record, but I mean, these are 2 solid teams, and from then on, Rutgers has a pretty favorable schedule. So they've shown they can win tough games, and with a few tough ones up ahead in this Big Ten slate, I think they can do it. Nebraska, Wisconsin, UCLA, USC, Minnesota, Maryland, Illinois, Michigan State. Yeah, you could chalk up around 4 losses there, but at the same time, those 4 games you probably have them losing are coin flips. I see USC, Maryland, Illinois, maybe Nebraska or Wisconsin as games that, yeah, they could totally lose. But at the same time, they've already beaten a Virginia Tech team who got robbed this past weekend. Oops, spoiler alert. And they've also beaten Washington. So they can beat tough teams in close games. They can do it against these teams as well. Rutgers, even if they lose 2 of those games and they win the rest of them, that's generally going to be enough to get you into the college football playoffs. But let's just say best case scenario, they do manage to go undefeated, which is not totally out of the realm of possibilities. They will be in the Big Ten championship, and they will be a lock for the playoffs. Rutgers can absolutely do it. Just look at their record, look at their players, look at the remaining teams. They can do it. I think they will. And our last overreaction, which is not as much of an overreaction, but I got to get off my chest. Virginia Tech was robbed, 100% robbed. Regardless of what you think the call should have been, by the definitions given to us by each conference and even the NCAA, given the ruling on the field of a catch, there is no way that that ruling could have been overturned. If it was ruled a catch, not enough to overturn it to rule it incomplete. If it was ruled incomplete, there was not enough to overturn it to rule it a catch. But somehow, the ACC found a way to keep their prized gem Miami, who is finally back, maybe, under Mario Cristobal. They found a way to keep their undefeated playoff hopes alive in Miami as they beat Virginia Tech in a stunner. I just got to point this out, that Miami is one of 3 remaining ACC teams with a perfect record, and quite frankly, they're probably the only one who will finish that way. Duke and Pittsburgh, both underrated teams, are undefeated, but neither have the hype, branding, or talent that Miami has that might make the ACC want to root for them. The outcome of the game, in my opinion, was absolutely chosen by the ACC higher-ups. You can't convince me that that should have been overturned. It wasn't determined by replay, and it was highway robbery. Virginia Tech should have won that game. And that is the third overreaction from an amazing Week 5.
If it takes 5 minutes to review a play, there's not enough evidence.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yes, Captain Price, you have something to say?
It was bull crap. They should have gave it to him.
Okay. Also, shout out to all the Colorado fans being gone now. We see you. We know. I was born at night, but it wasn't last night.
I didn't even... I guess it was in the description, because I have no idea where all these Colorado fans came from. Did I put that in the description? Are you sold on... Yeah. Okay. Well, bye, Colorado fans. Or Coach Prime fans.